Hello.
Hello.
What up?
Welcome back. So if y'all missed it, well, everyone missed it except for the players because we were playing from home last time. So we're going to do a quick recap of what went down. The party, after meeting with Corpia de Arancia, the Spider Queen, who apologized for any harm that came to one Viesa Warsenok during her abduction, was supposed to be a reason to get Adranis down here and having a conversation, was not anticipating the competency of your group, so improvised to get away quickly with Miss Warsenok. At the end of your conversations, a deal was made to track down the firstborn son of the firstborn child of Adranis Warsenok, the one that got away somewhere in Vertrag and from the city of Morand. You agreed to the terms of bringing proof of this child's death or bringing them back here alive within the end of what would have been Adranis' original contract about 6 months from now. In exchange, you also, for the party, Corpia agreed to answer a couple of your questions now and a couple more upon completion of the contract and the delivery of this firstborn. Needing some time to discuss your questions, figure out what your next plans were, and also to see the state of Viesa, you decided to circle back up and take an audience with the Queen later. As you went to leave, or were preparing to leave, and after the contract was signed, she shared with you the name of this child as well as any other pertinent information she had. She let you know that they last were seen, based on the information she received from the ancestor, the child spider that returned to her, that he was last seen leaving Morand a little over 100 years ago, 100 plus, maybe 2. Hard to tell. Spiders don't really have a great sense of years, but hey, A brief description of the half-elven gentleman with kind of a, Shatterkayan complexion, much like his father, and his name was one Foran Singal, a name that spark interest in a lot of the party who've heard Vinteth speak of this individual before. The individual he was attempting to locate when he first met you all. You gathered with Viesa back in a small domicile and found her hard at work drafting and creating different dresses and outfits and using some of this higher quality silks that were found down here in the in Kithriltori, the Spider City. Other than being a little bit exhausted from not sleeping and working tirelessly for the last few days, you found her in high spirits, and Valir, you eventually informed your sister of what was going on and why she was taken, and your father's way of trying to get out of the deal and what you have now all agreed to do. You discussed possible questions to ask Corpia and figure out what to do next and what your next steps would be. Eventually returning to her and asking 2 very important questions. You asked about... you asked a little bit about the original goal that you were sent here to accomplish for the broker, about the ley lines and their activities as you get closer to the waste, in particular this large cavern, this large gap, this crater in between Falfir and the waste, that seemingly the ley lines disappear. They do not go any further. Asking about, the different, how the ley lines work and how they, interact with the land around here. She didn't have exact information from what you seeked, but basically was able to enlighten you about the idea that for her hypothesis about why ley lines would just disappear, why leianic energy would disappear from somewhere in the world, would either have been the fact that rock carrying the ley lines was physically removed, or some sort of portal or siphoning ability that was drawing the energy away from that particular area. Again, she didn't have any firsthand experience, but from her understanding of the ley lines and understanding a little bit about that area as it's within her purview, those were the assumptions that she gave you. You also asked about the grandfather, the things going on with a little bit of everything, honestly. Kind of the overall thread that connected a lot of plot points and storyline that you have been working on so far. You talked about the Destin Brace Monastery and how there was an approaching being, the Vintet's, Vintet's vision of something very angrily approaching the world from the astral sea. About the nature of the gods in some sense, and what how they all play into what's going on, and what the stories of the world were. She gave you as much as she could. A lot of it was conjecture or things that she was unable to speak of because of restrictions through the First Grand Covenant and other beats that she was not able to expand on further. But she did leave you with an interesting theory. She spoke of the arrival of the siblings of Sorenlin and Crowan to Zelenkov, and talking about how the world was plunged in elemental chaos and war that raged for long before the siblings arrived, and that they did indeed, took their time to quell that chaos and stop that war, and then took the time to build this world into something more, and brought together humanoids and creation of other gods and demigods, and all forms of life that didn't exist beforehand. But she spoke of, while it's true the gods that the siblings had to arrive here, what she spoke of was the difference between happenstance of them coming upon this world and deciding to take action of a war-torn world, and someone or something looking for sanctuary, something that, running from something. And she gave you the analogy of her child that did something wrong if they weren't supposed to, when they kidnapped Viessa and injured her, and then when they came back, he was chewed out and reprimanded by Corpia, and he has not been seen in her presence since, and ran off to his room and has not returned. She can't confirm or deny that that's what happened and what the siblings are and who they were running from, but she left you with an interesting thought. Satisfied with your answers as much as you could and finishing your discussions, you took an evening's rest here in Kerthil Tori, said some prayers. Some were heard, some not so much, as Saishuri, as you attempted to find a steed, to cast a spell to manifest a horse companion for yourself. You found yourself a little bit empty. The place that you drew your power from, that connection you've constantly had, that pool of magic that rested inside of you because of your connection to Zinna, drained. your connection broken as you've renounced at least the connection you currently had and the deal, the oath you have taken. That evening, you too said a prayer, but not to Zina, not to any of the other beings that you have come into contact with recently, but reached out to the grandfather, this hurling, angry being coming towards your world that your party is currently investigating. And while you did not receive a verbal response, you got the unsettling feeling of something is watching and looking towards your direction. But you all completed a long rest and continued on your way, escorted back to Silicon Valley. You made it back to the estate of the Warsanox. You met with your mom and all got comfortable and prepared, showered and got yourself changed and refreshed and ready to deal with what comes next. As you all prepared for dinner that evening, with at least Mrs. Warsanok, as Andy was still unconscious by the time you returned. That is where we will pick up. Currently, again, you are mid-afternoon, early evening. You've returned to the estate of the Warsanox. Saishura, you and Viesa and Seven had made your way back to Viesa's quarters to get bathed and changed and kind of just knock the couple days of just deep dungeon crawling off of you. Valir, you had just finished meeting with your mother in the garden, and she told you that there's much to be discussed. Revi and Vinteth, you found yourself in the library of the Warsanox, just doing some general research on a couple of topics that had either crossed your fancy over the last couple of days, or further research into things that you've have had happen before. But yeah, you have. We will now be entering again a period of some downtime. You have dinner this evening with Mrs. Warsanok at least, and then I believe we agreed on. You guys said you might stay here at least a week, so a couple days, 10 days, as you get the, some things settled, get the rewards that are due to you based on the contract you had signed with Adronis. But is there anything you all wish to do today? Any conversations with each other, with other members of the house? The floor is yours.
At some point, I'd just like to, ask Valir if he has any knowledge of like the library and what might be in here. So maybe I'm flying a little less blind. And if he doesn't know, then I'll go and ask Viesa at some point.
Yeah. How much would I know that's in there?
Give me a general history check.
Cool.
Librarian be employed.
I mean, that's a lot.
It is not that big of it. It's a study library, so it's probably like 6 or 7 like tall bookcases of books. Not enough for a librarian, but probably bigger than most of your small town libraries that you've had over the course of your lives.
I got a 20.
20. Yeah, I mean, Valir, you were not studious kid. Your father collected a vast variety of books. Let's see, what's it, 20? He has your standard business tomes and things that, pertain to trade, different travel routes. He would carry something he got into probably towards the end, and part of the reason why you were, sent off to the monastery. there are several different just tomes on different self-defenses and different, fighting styles and, different swordsmanships. Like, just here's how you do certain actions and certain, sword play. So there's a huge section on that. He had a very small section on religious tomes, most of which centered around Soren Lin, but not an overly religious person, but understood the importance of it for creation of this town and things that have happened over the years. There are a couple of full-on historic writings on the founding of Silicon Valley and some of the early days of the early days of building the town and starting the relationship with the spiders and things of that nature, kind of bleeding into the business side of the establishment of trade routes and the delivery status of the silks from the spiders down below, and first trials and errors of how to use it and create it into something sellable. Yeah, there's a little bit of everything, but you know where like the major like chunks of his library lie. It's those kind of topics are like the big shelves of books.
Cool. Well, I relay that to Ravi. Yeah, my father was a studious guy for sure. He always liked to learn a little bit about everything. So we have little sections here and there of like fighting style, religion, how the town was built, turning the silk into sellable items and things like that. So I'm not sure what in particular you're looking for.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember from last week what I said. I know I said some stuff. Yeah, obviously things on Soren Land I know we had talked about. All right, so I'll just say to Valir, do you know if there's anything that's not kept here? Maybe something that a member of your family would have, not wanted to be, I guess, in the public reading space.
Well, I wouldn't be too surprised if there was something hidden. Clearly, my father is a man of secrets. The DM, would I know or not at all?
I would say you definitely. I mean, your father, especially more so recently. I think you're spot on. Like you wouldn't be surprised and actually probably assume that there's probably more, you know, safeguarded books and tomes somewhere in the estate. Probably his office, maybe somewhere. But this is the stuff that he doesn't mind if anybody decided to peruse.
Okay. So then I'll just say to Valia then. So Valia, we basically got confirmation from Corpia that the grandfather is coming, we have to track down this foreign Singal. I'm grasping at straws here, but if your father does have any hidden texts, I'd be more than willing to take the time to go through them with you, unless you know you have something else you'd like to do this week.
Well, I mean, I could always try to look through his office and his studies and stuff like that. Or if you want to put a pause on it and wait until he wakes up, hopefully, who knows what that is, and I'm sure he'll be more than willing to share whatever knowledge he has.
Yes, let's put a pause. I doubt he's going to be holding any secrets back after everything we've already been privy to.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we'll wait. All right, I'll wait for him to wake up then. I have other things I need to do anyway. So I'm gonna sit back down in the library wherever we are, and instead I'll wait for Adronis to wake up, and instead I'm gonna continue to go through the 4 groupings of notes, books, whatever, from the Quartz Beard research.
Is there anyone else wanting to do anything before dinner?
I don't care. I want to.
Okay.
I don't think anything at the moment.
All right, so you guys spend, again, a couple hours unwinding, relaxing, enjoying not being in caves since you've been underground for the last couple days. But eventually, you'll get yourself washed up, changed into some comfier clothes, and are fetched for dinner.
We all have PTSD of people getting attacked.
But yeah, you are brought down to the smaller, less ballroom-esque dining hall, not the one that the original attack went. You get the sense that was the hall that was used as Valir's homecoming kind of like celebratory dinner, but you're brought to a smaller, still very large dining table, but not in the grander sense. You see the plates and plates are already set before you. There are some small appetizers and food already laid out. And your mother is already, she's seated at the table when you all arrive, but she does stand to greet you all. Adronis is not at dinner.
Mm-hmm. Shit, I had her name somewhere. Someone got it?
What's your mom's name, man?
Oh, I'm blanking on her name. What the heck was her name again?
All right, I don't feel as bad anymore.
Oh no, hold on.
Like how I shifted
Give
the
me a
blame there.
second. Eddie Lily or something like that.
Eda Lily, that's right.
Ida Lily, yeah, Ida
Or
Lily.
is it Ada Lily or Eda Lily?
It's Ida Lily.
Ida Lily. Got it.
Idol.
We got there.
Hey, listen, she's mom to me, so I don't know her name.
Why would I know her name? Her name is Mom. No,
Valid.
that's true though.
Waiting for that. Here's like, Idol Lily, you never treated me as your son, so I'm not calling you mom anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna be one of those kids who calls you by your first name.
The teen years at 120 something.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, she stands up, kind of gives you all a solemn bow. Just she's still, keeping her proper demeanor, but she let's see. This would be Vinteth. Yeah, Vinteth. Saishori, Valir. As she kind of stands, compared to the first dinner when you all first arrived here, she's still very rigid and tense, but there is you can tell that she's rigid and tense not because of having to entertain. It's more so just the situation still is a lot of shit going on, but from as far as like her mannerisms, she seems more relaxed, and that she has come to, and if anything, Valir, you've seen this probably more in the last, since your last interaction with her when you left and when you came back and talked to her, much more relaxed in the sense that she understands like it's a shit situation and she's also just trying to make the best of it.
Sober.
Best you can tell. I mean, there's wine poured on the table, but she's not like, doesn't seem to have overindulged.
I'd be like 5 bottles deep.
Viesa's here already? They had their like reunion and everything, right? So
Viesa has not. Viesa has been up in her room with Saijori the entire time.
oh, lovely.
We are drunk.
Oh, I brought that.
All right, so then not knowing that, I'm just gonna say, oh, good to Ida Lily, good to see you again this evening. Thank you for dinner. Happy to come back to to your estate with your daughter in hand. I hope that's been a relief.
You see, she turns. Yes, I do want to personally thank all of you and thank you for joining me for dinner this evening. Thank you for making sure both of my children returned safely. You see, she kind of looks over and sees Viesa, and she hesitates for a moment because she's always in that wants to entertain and wants to be high society, but does eventually, after hesitating, go over and gives Viesa a hug and welcomes her back and thank God you're safe, and we're so worried, and holds her for probably a beat too long for what would proper society call a greeting and a dinner party type situation. But
Watching
she
Viesa's
don't care.
face. That whole interaction.
Give me an active insight check on this one.
Him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see Viesa, she's relieved to be home, but also you can tell she definitely is in the comforting her mom part of this as much instead of like, grateful that her mom's, talking to her like that. You know what I mean? Eventually, the embrace ends. She goes over, she shakes each of your hands, and again, thanks you for the job you did and how thankful she is that you brought back both of her children to her. Eventually, it's like, well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I mean, you've been traveling for so long. A nice hot meal, I assume, was in order, so I made sure we had something very, not extravagant, but at least a hot meal of something better than whatever it is you eat on the. I don't know. What do you eat on? She kind of leans over to Valir. What do you eat when you're on the road?
Just good berries from time to time. Whatever else we could find in inns. It varies. You'll be
They are good-
surprised.
They are
of-
good berries.
Yes, you'll be surprised of how excellent non-fine dining food is. It's very nourishing. You should definitely try it sometime.
Suji gets a little excited and starts making good berries. Suddenly, there's like 30 good berries in his hand.
It's like a compulsion for her.
It's like, I don't think and I kind of get up, like, definitely not high society. Please try one.
Oh, is this She looks at Valir like, do I like? Is it impolite not to eat this right now? Like,
I'm just like I just give her a nod. I give her a nod to that it's fine to eat.
Thank you, Suji. And she pops a good berry in her mouth. That's quite delectable.
Some might even say it's good.
Damn, who am I
He's a
sitting near?
simple man.
Oh, is that time?
Who am I sitting near?
I mean, currently you haven't sat down yet. It's kind of more like talking, and like she came over to greet you as you all kind of entered. So that's where this kind of exchange happened. But yeah, you are all welcome to take a seat at the table. There's wine is already poured on the table. There's again some appetizers. Main courses would start coming in. You're more than welcome to request any other beverages or things you would want to drink. But yeah, you are treated to a very nice hot meal. Still a little bit of the fancier side, so it's very small portions, but she makes sure a lot of them are brought out so you guys can eat your fill. But yeah, you have the dinner table and Ida Lily Warsenok at your disposal.
Well, she's probably unlikely to know, but I might as well ask while I'm here. Hi, Lily. While I'm here, wait, sorry, shit. Before I continue, did anyone tell her what the terms of this new deal are with the Spider Queen or no? No one's told her that, right?
No.
Okay, so
I kind of told her what was up.
oh, you did. Okay,
Yeah.
so. All right, so then I'll still, I guess, dance a little lightly then. I know, Lily. So we have, we do appreciate your hospitality, and we have some important things we're going to need to do in the near future. I was trying to do some research in the library. I'm curious. Do you know of any works in your family's estate that may not be in the library? Ones that, for lack of a better term, like not readily publicly consumed, but could be useful for what we need to achieve next.
Yes, I'm not. I can't say I'm familiar with the context of them, but of course, my husband does have a small cache of books and things that he keeps in his office. I just want to say, I want to say somewhere in the vault there's a couple of books that he had put away down there a while ago, but again, I can't tell you what's in them, but I know that they do exist, yes.
Well, and it's good to know. I'll inquire further with Adronis once he's awakened. So, thank you.
No, on that note, to his awakening, was he badly injured? I know he was not in the best shape when you all left, but it's his fact that seems to be still unconscious is concerning.
I'm going to stare at Vinteth.
What are you staring at me for? Oh, yeah.
What did Ventat do?
I almost
You
killed
blew
him.
him off.
Oh yeah.
You did. You knocked him out.
All right, fine. I'll notice that and stare at him. Like, all right. He got the wind knocked out of him, but I don't think any of our battles either we had.
Now I'm sure it's the recovery, the poison, whatever he was under the effects of was quite traumatizing.
He
It
did
at least
break his
appeared to
hand.
be.
I think he's just.
Huh.
I'll go check on him after dinner.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm sure he would. I have some of our attendants still, treating some of his whatever wounds he has, but I'm sure a cleric of your esteem would always be helpful.
I'll see to it. As best of my ability.
Just whisper to like someone like Robbie, like, does Binteth even heal people?
Maybe
No,
he's
cleric, what?
he might be capable of it. I don't think I've seen him do it. Huh?
Maybe once or twice. What? He should have done that on the like the walk back, shouldn't he have?
Wait, was he knocked? He wasn't. Oh wait, because we stabilized him? Did no one ever actually heal him?
He got healing potions.
I think I might have healed him once or twice.
I don't think we healed him after the Spider Queen or whatever.
No.
Is he
he was
seriously been asleep this whole time because he's fucking unconscious and stabilized and we never healed him?
No, I mean he has just been through an ordeal.
Oh,
think
okay.
He was
He got spider
floating with
surgery.
he was floating with about 3 points of exhaustion towards the end there. So he's just non-combatant recovering from a deadly poison being ripped out of his body.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna whisper to Zaishuri, I don't think I'm going to eat here.
So, Zaishori, how Viesa, how was it? How are the designs coming? Is the new fabric as good as advertised?
The dress she made me, beautiful. It was beautiful.
Wonderful.
I was going to ask, Saituri, what are you wearing?
Oh, true. Good question.
What are you wearing, DM? Oh.
Yeah, what are you wearing, Rochi?
Well, seeing as Saituri was the only one who was actually went off and bathed and got ready for dinner.
Hey, I was there.
That's
that.
Seven.
I'll get ready for day 2. There was important reading to do.
7 can only be cleaned with a blacksmith.
I can clean. How many times? How many times do I have to clean you before you remember I can clean you?
You've done this once.
I thought I've done it twice.
Was it twice?
I think twice.
Roche, I
You don't
get
get
an image of
preceded
this
for once.
dress.
I can find one. I didn't have one already planned, but yeah, I could get you one.
I thought you were like kind of doing a build your own dress and explaining it.
Kim's gonna be real disappointed in like 3 weeks from now. Like, where's the fancy dress? Like, what are you talking about, babe? Like, I saw you looking them up online. I saw it.
But yeah, just again, it's a a red and purple. The right side is like down to your almost ankle, but the left side is almost like hip height. So it's that like offsetter, like
That is exactly what I imagined.
Yeah.
I have my weapons though. I learned my lesson.
Yeah. Pardon me if I don't feel the need to be, at least at this first dinner, to be super fancy and just more concerned on being ready for potential action.
I'm just gonna assume.
I have a blouse and a kilt on.
I always just assume Ravi Prestige have to enter like town or some shit.
Honestly, there's no reason not to. I'm not gonna be dirty.
You're not
I just
dirty.
We're just not. Yeah,
Not
we're not
bathed.
fancy and bathed and yeah.
Nasty.
I would say a couple of you have scruff, but you're all fucking elves, so it's not like you're gotten facial hair. Shadows.
We are elegant motherfuckers. What can we say?
Can I use thaumaturgy to vibrate my beard hair out?
You have no beard. You're an elf. Elves don't grow facial hair.
You hairless elf.
Can I have a beard?
No.
What if it's just moss?
Are you asking if anyone can stop you from taking moss and putting it on your face?
I am now.
If you ask Suji to druid craft you a moss beard, I will allow it.
Yes,
Oh my
let's
god.
go.
This is classy as shit right here.
Yeah. I want that moss beard sushi.
Damn it.
What?
He apparently wants a beard out of moss. Because we're discussing beards and none of us have them.
Why would you even want that, Seven?
For contrast.
Okay, but I don't think right now's the time, but I will try.
Okay. Later. Tim's all excited. I was like, yes.
Uh,
I'm going to be even more distinguishable.
Viesa, have you been into I'm sorry, not Viesa. Ida Lily, have you been into town today at all?
Oh heavens, no! I don't go into town unless I'm doing like an engagement or something. I don't leave the estate.
Area. I see.
Uh,
I guess I was just curious. I don't know if you were aware, but we did seem to face some hostility on our way out of town. Based on the results of our meeting with the Queen, I would imagine that hostility is over now, but I can't say for sure.
We did have a little bit of a rough time getting some supplies in the last couple of days, but it seemed to have loosened at least in the last couple of hours, I suppose. Or at least since this morning. We've had my servants go out and try to re-up in supplies the last couple of days, and it's been met with some issues. But this morning seemed to have gone better.
Oh, good. Good. Okay, so I forget who asked me this, but just as I look to the rest of the table, like, hey, so it seems as if we can at least restock on our way out and potentially get what we need while we're here. Oh,
How long were we gone for?
4 days?
4 days total by the time you guys got back here. Yeah.
I wonder.
Possibly. I personally, I'm going to hold up on the visit to town until we're later in the week. I'd like to remain here until Adranus wakes and continue this research. We have a lot to figure out. I'd like to feel secure before we make our move towards the wastes. And also, if I figure out which cartographer put that lake on the map, I'm going to kill him.
To be fair, nobody's ever returned from that area, so they just guess, I suppose.
Well,
Fair.
guess it's a good guess. That's fair.
I'm surrounded by water everywhere
I
else.
saw the issue. The thing is, I was supposed to darken that area, and it just never took. It just stayed the same blue. I'm like, that's not right.
I just wanted to bust your balls in campaign, buddy. That's all.
Sometimes a map that you made.
I figure better to blame it on the in-universe cartographer and assume that was a map out of one textbook of mine.
Damn you, Tarion!
Thought you mages were supposed to be better about this sort of shit.
I'm colorblind. Come on, guys.
Why did we have the colorblind mage make the maps again? Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, I assume unless things have changed, our next steps still take us on our original journey towards the waste. But given what we know now, look, I'm not going to try to usurp your time this week as we take a well-deserved rest after the events at hand. But anyone who wishes to accompany me while I shoot in the dark a bit when it comes to research. I'm going to get whatever info I can from the library as well as any of the more hidden works that Andy might be willing to share.
Also, while we're planning forward, even though we're on a bit of a time limit, should we try to see Zaishuri's family? The other tieflings?
I
feel like was the journey we went out here for, and assuming airship ready soon, which somewhat doubt, it might not be a bad waste of time. Plus, who knows if they know any information more willing to share with their own people.
I don't see why not. I kind of look over towards Zaishuri. I mean, Zaishuri, I'd assume this is still something you want to do, right? I know we're on the time limit, but until we get more information, I see no reason not to continue forward with what we've been tasked with. We investigate these ley lines, and we continue forward.
I get there when I get there, you know?
Well, we're going to be right there, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Zaishuri is just kind of like blasted.
Oh, are you drunk?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see you've had quite the good day over there, Zaishuri.
I think too that Viesa like grabs your hand. You're deflecting, sweetheart.
Oh, they're girlfriends now. That's sweet. Huh? She already knows her. That's nice. Hey. Oh, and can someone else please handle the update for the broker? Is all I would ask while I research. I would think within the next day or so, at least some point this week, let's not forget to send him another message and at least let him know. Maybe once we have a firm departure time, maybe that would be better. We can inform him that we're moving forward.
I can write that note.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop you there.
If no one else did, I was just gonna let him.
We are good. We are alive. 7.
All right, you could write it 7, but we're gonna proof.
Talk to Spider
Your
Queen.
hand even
Leaving
hold
next
the
week.
pill?
We're good. Everything you hear is Vintet's fault. Send.
Too true.
See, you and I could just bypass whatever the fuck he sends to the broker because then
I know we can send him our own things anyway, but
let 7 have his fun, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I figure we'll send him the big update, and also we need to, as the reminder, we need to
also
refresh the broker on his priorities.
Zaishuri
and
needs
expedite that information. And I just kind of say to everyone, like, I'm sure talking about the broker out loud's not that bad, but just remember that the spiders might be listening at all times. So we say anything important.
I'm keeping everything quite general.
For Suji to comment on how attractive this.
Oh no!
I can't do that anymore.
In front of Viesa.
So, do you think that Corpia that chose that for? She could have chosen a less attractive elf, right? Like, I understand she wanted to be an elf for the purpose of making everyone feel a little bit more comfortable, but I mean, everyone here has eyes. Anywho, food's delicious.
I just like the idea. I like the idea of the high elf and the Shatterkai elf saying that the drow elf was really hot.
Is there? I didn't feel like elf racism was a big thing in this world.
It's not. I think you
Okay.
said, like, she was super attractive. She could have chose a less attractive elf coming from the high elf talking about the drow. It's just it's
yeah.
a funny
yeah.
dynamic.
That's fair.
I'll,
I wasn't saying she could have chosen a less attractive breed. That's no. As an individual.
that's
Her
why I mean, like,
individual
Suji
features.
Drow, Queen Drow, you know.
Okay, I'll just jump in there and be like, honestly, I felt confused during that because she kind of reminded me of how my mother looked.
I
I knew
I
you would
see.
say that.
Well, I certainly hope it wasn't that confusing then, Suji.
Traumatizing, but not terrible.
Mm,
It was more just odd.
I see.
Suji, give me a persuasion or deception check, depending on what you're trying to do right now.
Just persuasion.
Cool.
Big money.
You gotta remember, I was raised with mostly humans. I don't
Oh.
fucking know any better, even if there is elf
Fuck
racism.
is my rolls in DnD the past like 2 months.
Oh no.
And Roach, I'm sending you what Seven is writing in the note.
Cool.
You're gonna make me use sending spells for the broker, aren't you, Seven?
You're gonna find out.
You son of a bitch.
It's his frog mantle.
Devin, are you writing the note at the fucking dinner table?
He doesn't eat. What else is he gonna do?
That's true. We might as well write it now.
Yeah.
Dear broker, I am good. How are you? I walked like a spider.
I forgot to tell him that.
It is great.
This is why we proofread, Seven. This is why we proofread.
Romantic
very-
love, 7.
Yeah, I learned about romantic love. That's the whole note. Gross.
This group I travel with continues to teach me the essentials.
Okay.
Your big brother broke.
Yeah, I gotta change that in my notes. I
Yeah,
don't know
no
why that
worries.
was stuck there.
I think I listed off all the giants that week.
Yeah.
But yes, specifically that was a old stone giant.
Oh, and also, I didn't mess it up in my notes, right? The thing, sorry, I meant to ask this. The thing for the stone giants, I have in here, they were the older residents of that underground city. But
Yes.
then also that they could, fuck, where did I put it? Sorry, 1 second. They can move the ley lines. Did I write that down correctly? I wrote they can move the ley lines and create the chasms themselves.
It's not so much that they can move the ley lines. They are very skilled, or we're very skilled stone crafters. So the point is, they moved earth and stone to create the cavern
Oh,
where
I
that
see.
town was, which is why that piece of ley line that was in the earth literally got shunted
Oh,
above the city, because they literally just took the rock and
I see. So it's more of like it's accidental. It wasn't intended to move the ley line. It is a consequence of their movement of stone and the natural things that they are doing.
That's why you guys should be
Got
more
it.
impressed with Seven not talking at all. To the
Wait,
Spider
wait,
Queen.
wait, wait. So is that piece of ley line severed? Like a tree root? They just took like a chunk out of it and moved it up?
essentially.
Interesting.
That's why I wasn't flowing when
Ah.
Valier checked it the second time.
Gotcha.
And then responding to Seven, who I'm sure said that out loud. No, Seven, you did a good job, and I do apologize. I know you may have wanted to say some things to her, but I think all of us were a bit concerned about just making sure we got out of there and with all the information we needed.
Stone Giants and Rugborg. And why do I want to build walls now?
Do you think
I don't know.
you'll connected to these creatures in some way?
I just pointed my arm. Yeah. Maybe.
What's he pointing at on his arms?
Arm.
He's made of stone.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, true.
I am giant
Mm.
comparatively. I was bigger, but now, you know,
I know. I remember.
I ate that thing.
You got truncated.
Yeah.
Well, you do still have those blueprints. If there's time this week, I'd be happy to take a look at them with you.
Yes. I'd like that.
Okay.
Should we do that before or after I have my new beard?
Yeah, I'll leave that one up to you, Seven. As long as I've finished up what I need here, because we can look at those plans on the road too. But I'm sure Andy would not like me taking any of his literature out of the estate. So I'll try to get the info I can while we're here.
Okay.
Seven, did you send your note already?
Yeah.
God damn it! Who gave him the pen?
I have my own pen. It's supposed to be for blood, but I don't have that.
God. Oh my god! He wrote it in the blood pen.
Yeah, but I don't have blood, so
It's just oil.
Oil pen.
yeah. Stone.
Which I
juice.
guess then, yeah, it just comes out looking like an ink note anyway.
Yeah, I have a pen.
Were we planning on telling the broker about that orb we found?
What orb?
The boom orb.
That solves the problem of gold or not. Magic orb thing. Cracked one.
I planned
That wasn't an orb.
I planned on doing as making that a part of my research this week. Again, something I as per my next topic, I was going to say I don't know exactly how safe that's going to be. I mean, I would not mind having someone there in case something went wrong.
At my hand.
Well, Vinteth, you have been my magical experimentation friend. So if you'd like another round of it, I'm
pretty sure that if I did that again and Ormond survives, when he eventually gets out, he will kill us all. So let's
I'm not saying
that.
you should try to hit it. I'm saying if you'd like to accompany me, be there. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to examine the item. It's still, and I kind of just gesture towards my bag. It's still safely kept away for now.
Vintet, did you mean that shiny stone in the shop?
No,
Or the thing we found? Because the thing we found wasn't an orb.
No, it was not. No, not an orb. It's a roughly 2-inch piece of metal and stone with the carved.
Oh, I know
the
what it
carved
looks like.
glyphs.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, you said the wrong thing, Vinteth. I was correcting my note to the broker.
You already sent the note, though.
I know.
How are you going to correct it?
No, I was
He
already
did not
correct.
write orb.
And Suji, also, if you don't plan on making more, could I ask you a big favor? I would like to. Again, another thing I'd like to experiment in this downtime we have, but I'd like to mess around more with the jug. If you don't plan on any experimentation with it today, if you could do me the favor of generating some acid and some alchemist fire, I would, or at least attempting to.
Does this mean we can get tattoos while we're here?
From
It's
where?
gonna be here for a week? In town.
I mean, I guess theoretically, if they have a tattoo.
Can you tattoo a
Sure.
rock?
Yes.
Of course. I mean, well, if they're magical, of course. The magic won't discriminate. Regular tattoos?
Didn't
That's
specify
just
magical
Who's to
tattoo.
say?
I didn't know magical tattoos were a thing.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
you
you
know.
did.
No,
talked about
we've
this.
talked about it as players, right? I don't know if we've talked about it as
I
Oh, we
don't,
talked about
characters.
Seven talked about tattoos in game.
I don't remember.
Oh, that's because you had the baptism.
Can you remind me, because I'm not 100% sure if I did it or not. One time I was going to mess with the alchemist jug and see if it could make like a superior healing potion. I think we did it and it just came out with the original liquid hair gel that was there. Do you remember?
Yes, because you tried to do it in the same day.
Oh, I thought it was like the next day when I tried.
Yeah, so this is just my reminder. All I would ask for, like, experiment as you like, but at some point this week, if you could just generate some acid and some alchemist fire so I can replenish my jugs or my own personal vials, that would be helpful. Other than that, I'm happy to, help you experiment.
I think I'd like to pick up mason tools.
Wait, so if Doug healing potion.
No, see, here's the thing.
Probably won't
Here's
because of how alchemist jug works.
Yeah. So the way the jug works is there are base ingredients we know we can make for sure, but those ingredients are different amounts depending on what you want. So for example, like fresh water, it'll make 8 gallons. But acid, what I'm requesting, it'll only make 8 ounces. I assume a similar thing would be true if it can even, in fact, make alchemist fire. So let's assume it can make superior healing potions. That would probably be like 1 vial per day at absolute maximum.
Gotcha.
Something like that. So
Okay.
do I have like my understanding of the jug correct? Okay.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, so like yeah, so it's going to be the most we're ever going to get is water, which is 12 gallons, but obviously a lot lower than that when you start adding stuff to it. So like wine's a gallon, basic poison. Oh, see, here we go. See, all right, 8 ounces of acid. See, this is interesting. This might be a comparable. Basic poison, half an ounce. That's the lowest listed amount. So like I would assume half an ounce, what is that? Is that like a single vial? Or would that not even be a full vial? Like you need multiple days to make a single vial of poison out of an alchemist jug.
Basically, yeah.
Multiple days. Okay, so
Yeah.
there you go. So
That's
maybe
more test tube, like.
So maybe it can make. So what would it be? Is a vial an ounce? So 2 days with the jug makes you a vial of poison.
So half an ounce of poison is 1 dose of poison. Because essentially, if you ever look at like when you can buy poison when you buy poison, it's usually 3 doses. So you can make about a dose of poison a day, essentially.
Okay, there you go. So got it.
So about a third of a vial, I guess, would be equivalent.
Yeah, so mess around with that. Just
Yep, throughout the week I'll be testing various.
yeah, just make me my stuff at some point, please. That's all I ask.
So alchemist fire and what?
Acid, I know it can make because that's a base item for it. Alchemist fire, I don't know it can make. That would be an experiment, and I'll give you the vials for each so they can be filled. Thank you, Suji. I appreciate it. It'll save me some time while I'm digging through the Wolfsonok library.
No problem.
During this conversation, Fleer, I think your mom, I assume you're sitting like towards her at the head of the table.
Yeah.
Just leans into you and just. I'm glad to see you and your friends are still a lively bunch after everything that's happened.
Yeah. I mean, they've been good friends, good allies for quite some time now, and I knew they'll be there for me as I am for them. I mean, he knew how I was growing up, hence why he sent me to the monastery. I know I wasn't the most welcoming person, but being on these adventures and after getting kicked out of the monastery, I was kind of trying to change, the way I am with things. But yes, it was great to have them by my side through all this.
They're a little rough around the edges, but I'm glad you found some people that you resonate. So
Yeah, it's been nice. I mean, CVS, she found herself a friend here as well. I know. I know the group you see before you is not the type of people you usually surround yourselves with. Understandable the way you've always been in higher society all these years, as far as I can remember. But you should kind of drop. You should, yeah, you shouldn't. You should drop that. You should drop that kind of idea of not talking to people based off where they come from. You'll be quite impressed of the vast knowledge and experience that others have.
She kind of takes a sip of her drink and sighs a little bit. It's like, well, I suppose you're partially right. I should probably get used to not speaking to those in the upper echelon if that's truly where our lives are going to go after this. But well, they're not all of lower class your friends, yes?
No, not that I know of. I mean, you're free to ask. You're free to ask them to know their backgrounds and where they come from. I don't think we really shared much of that. It just just comes up when things arise. Like, for example, when you guys, well, when VSO sent people over to get me, they didn't really know I came from wealth. I didn't. It just never came up. So please feel free to ask them whatever you need to, if you're interested.
It's not. I mean, I will certainly ask them, but one of your friends, he has how do I say? He carries himself as if he was raised a certain kind of way.
Do I know who she's referring to?
Give me an insight check. Let's see how discreet she's being. You don't have an immediate idea of what she's referring to, but your mother is also not like she's a socialite. She's not a trained liar in a lot of sense. You can see she's reading you very well. That you're kind of puzzled on the idea, and you get her subtle head nod to another conversation that's happening, and she's kind of like leaning towards Suji.
Ah. Oh. That one. Well, I don't know. It we I never really thought about thought about asking him his background or anything like that. It doesn't seem that he's really taken the back of the estate here like the others were. So maybe he does come from money. Maybe he does come for it. I don't remember. Did I mention that um to my mother that VS told me she has a thing for him?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That definitely did not happen.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
I didn't remember. Well, yes, as I was saying, like, yeah, he wasn't taking the back from the estate. He seemed kind of comfortable, didn't seem overwhelmed by it. So maybe, But yeah, why are you bringing this up?
Oh, call it mother's intuition or just a feeling, I suppose.
Feeling of?
She kind of leans into you a little bit. Your sister is not exactly a hard to read person.
I whispered to her back. I'm like, yes. Well, she did confess to me that she was interested in him. And one of the letters that she sent me when she was looking for me, I did not tell him that my sister has it. Actually, did I? Yes, I did. I
I was
mentioned it.
literally the human whore that
Yes,
was
yes.
being used as bait.
I did mention it to him that Viesa does have a thing for him, or whatever you want to call it. Mainly to make sure that we got what we wanted. I wasn't sure how you or father were gonna react being here and making requests for, equipment, airships, all that. You understand. Business is business, mother. You get it. But what do you have any concerns about him? Do you know anything about his family?
I mean, I'm not sure what his family is, and per se, I've not. The first name does not ring any bells, but I have not. I've not had the pleasure. He only introduced himself as Suji. I'm not sure if he has a surname of sorts, but I'm just observing the fact that he definitely, despite his outward appearance, he certainly carries himself a certain way. So I'm just being cautious, I suppose.
Cautious.
In the
Well,
meantime, Suji's just trying to put away the 29 other good berries. And in his pockets, he kind of realizes there's some old ones that molded and sneaking it into a napkin, completely oblivious to what's going on.
cautious, you say? Do you think he's dangerous? Do you think he's a threat somehow?
To your sister? Of course not.
Just the bloodline.
That's
Wow.
fucked up.
That was damn. Wow, that caught me off guard.
That was a good one.
Shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Why'd you have to go Hulk Hogan with it?
That's even worse going on.
Because Fuji's not the cream of the crop.
Anyway, no, of course not. Your sister is more than capable of taking care of herself in those regards. It's a parent's job to worry, especially about who their children decide to fraternize with. God, it always sounds dirty when you say it that way, I suppose. I don't know what your sister's looking for anymore. If she's, if she's just having fun, I'm never. It's it's her life. She can do as she wishes. There's a reason her first two husbands don't live at the estate. Yeah.
Right. Speaking of, I've never met her last husband. Are they still together? Where the heck is he at?
Oh, he's a diplomat. He's at the capital currently.
I see.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're together, air quotes. I think he's been here twice. I'm gonna say twice.
Understood. Well then, well, I guess I don't know. Well, I'll tell you this: Viesa doesn't know anything that I told him. I will definitely keep my eye on him, and if there's anything you find out about him, please let me know.
Understood. I will. This is fun. I get to do socialite things.
I kind of just put my hand over her hand, just give her like a nice little like warm, cozy squeeze. Kind of nice to see her having some fun, just bantering with me.
You have no other information on him. Where he's from, his parents' names, last name, anything I can go off of.
I honestly don't even remember what CG revealed about himself.
Borosilicate.
Yeah, I mean, I leave that to Valir. If Valir does not remember things about Suji, he doesn't remember things about Suji. Not that he's been open about his background.
Yeah, no, I don't think he said much, but I don't think there's anything.
And said a little bit, but I don't think Valir would actually care in that regard.
Probably did not commit it to memory. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Get moving.
No, not as much. I just know he makes things here and there. Kind of good at it sometimes. I don't know. It's a hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes it's just very terrible. Other times, I don't know where these skills come from. It's weird. He turns into a monkey sometimes. That's kind of cool. Odd, but kind of cool. He has a cool weapon. Good scythe. Kind of annoying when he just howls and screams when he's trying to communicate with us. Like he's done this plenty of times, and I guess he just assumes we understand. I don't know, but if I happen to remember anything or if I find anything else out, I will definitely let you know.
Wonderful. I will do some research of my own.
Of course. Much appreciated.
Seven has learned a new word. He thinks it's an insult.
Which word?
Diplomat with air quotes.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. So the evening continues. You all have dinner, have light conversation, comparatively to what's been going on the last couple of days. But dinner comes to a close, and you are. Lily excuses herself for the evening, and yeah, the estate is yours if you'd like it this evening. But if not, we can move on to the morning and start to talk about what your downtime activities would be. But if there's any other conversation you want to have before that happens, please have them.
So Suji, the moss beard.
Well, we could do that in a side room, but I'll see what I can do.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Say that. But I'll DM you what I'm thinking of making you look.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, you guys have a full week of downtime. So this is a chance for you all to, again, research things that you're looking to do, pick up any odds and ends, have conversations about what's coming next with each other, other NPCs, communications, obviously for Revi and Vinteth through sending, or if any of you want them to send messages for you. Big personal questions that you want to, self-reflection. So this is not, I'm not going to take this day by day. This is more so, I'm going to go basically one at a time. Give me a quick list of things you're trying to do over the course of a week. I would give you, by the end of... No, let's talk about everything else first. So, Adronis will wake up at some point. So if you want to keep things that are going for Adronis and conversations with him as well. But yeah. Does anyone want to volunteer to go first? If not, I will just call on people randomly.
I mean, I'll at some point be sending the broker a message. Just letting him know, hey, we're here in Silicon Valley. Yeah, and multiple messages if I need, so I'm not counting words.
Yeah.
We're back in Silicon Valley. I couldn't remember. We let him know we were dealing with an issue with Valier's family in the last note, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like the issue with Valier's family has been mostly resolved. His sister is safe. And we're going to be leaving on an airship as soon as we can to continue forward with the job. In the meantime, though, this is basically me directing him like, foreign Singal is the number one priority. In terms of to modify the list we gave you before. Any information you can dig up on him would be helpful.
Cool.
I will tell him that I'm excuse me. Sorry, I'm sure he already might know this, but I'm going to make the comment about the stone giants. Like we picked up some information, related to potential with the stone giants, the chasms down there. Yeah, we think it may have some relation to what we'll see in the wastes, but we'll keep you addressed.
Yeah. Over the course of a couple of conversations, he confirms the change of direction as far as what he's researching. Notes the specifics of a old stone giant civilization as interesting. But yeah, other than that, just good to keep moving in the directions you guys have given him so far.
Good. And before Andy wakes up, so before I get to ask him about the whatever secret works there might be in the vault and in his office. I'm going to see if Vinteth or anyone else would like to come with me as we experiment a little bit with the item. And I will, because at this point, just for transparency, I mean, we're in the Warsanaka state. I'm going to ask Viesa or, Viesa, I feel like it feels safer. And let her know, like, we have an unknown magical item. I'd like to mess with it a little bit. Is there a safe place to do so where I'm not going to, if something happens, I'm not going to destroy something really valuable in this house. So.
Okay, yeah, that's easy enough to. Viesa can give you some space out in one of the yards where
Okay.
you'd have some open area and just tell people like servants and stuff, don't go over there, just don't.
Got it.
Just leave them alone.
Perfect. So yeah, that'll be my next day plan for before Andy wakes up.
Cool. So that is what Revy's up to. Anyone else want to go, or am I gonna start calling people?
I'm basically coattailing off of him. Same thing with the broker. That's it. Focused. In my downtime when I'm not with Ravi, I'm probably just diving into that fucking book. The whole
Okay. Cool.
I will present the Quartzbeard notes, basically saying, like, if anyone's bold and wants to peruse them, I still haven't finished. But I'll leave that out there.
Cool. Say Shori.
She's gonna go through her spells one by one. See if anything works. My smites, anything.
Yeah, Saishori, going through your abilities and the things that have been granted to you over the last several years, mechanically, anything that is physically of you is still yours. The hellish rebuke granted to you as your lineage of being a tiefling is still yours. That is the only node of spell casting that you can still tap into. Any of your paladin spells are currently cut off. Your channel divinities lost to you. Any of your paladin, anything that's part of your paladin class that isn't like something physical, like your fighting style, you still obviously have. Like you are, like that's just how you fight. But anything that is magically endowed by your deity, you felt yourself are truly cut off from.
How about darkness?
Darkness is part of your tiefling abilities, right?
I think so.
I think at a certain level you get darkness once a day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that comes from you being a tiefling, you obviously still have.
Okay. I guess after that, Shuri just kind of goes into, I guess, a sort of like meditation, trying to like process her feelings of everything that kind of happened, especially like the day before, how she feels about Zena, how she feels about her past being revealed to her and Draconis, finding out that he's always been there and just blocked out. The heartbreak of not getting a companion. Figuring out what the next move is.
Seven, Suji, Valir.
Yeah. Oh, I would like Mason's tools. Go to town and then just look up find more info about stone giants, Rugborg, general things that I just wondering if should I just go back down into the spider cave and just ask the queen about who lived here before again? But don't actually do that. Just think about it, and then I guess just take some downtime and do masonry stuff. Figure out things that I can and can't build.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, tracking down Mason's tools isn't that a hard thing in town here. It would cost you 10 gold pieces to
Okay.
get that, into your inventory.
All right. I can do that. Oh, no, I did something dumb. All right, so just 10 gold?
Yep.
All right.
Cool. And then you spend some time after you pick up Masonary's tools, just doing general, small jobs, small craftings, just to kind of get used to them and break them in a little bit. So you sit there and contemplate making your way back into the caves to go see the Spider Queen.
Yeah.
But keep yourself busy and choose not to act on that impulse at this time.
Yeah.
Valir and Suji.
A couple things. I will try to bond more with Viesa, try to help her out here and there with some ideas with create with a new silk material she got with from the Spider Queen, stuff like that, trying to help out, bond with her that way. And I kinda want to explore, very explore the estates. Now that I know that my father has a lot of secrets, I kind of feel a little bit impatient waiting for him, so I kind of wanted to see what I could find on my own. And yeah, whenever anybody else needs help with research or something, I'll help them out when I can as well.
Okay. Where would you like to focus your first couple of attempts of your snooping around the estate? Like, are you going straight for your father's office? Are you going for the vaults and the under the basement kind of dwellings? Are you just doing a general sweep of some of the upper floors?
Oh,
Where do you
man.
want to start your search essentially?
See, it's not where you most expect or least expect. It's where you medium expect, but I don't know where that will be. Um, y- sure. I can start off in his office.
Okay. And Suji, what do you?
So we're saying this is approximately throughout the 7 days.
So you have the full week to do things. Obviously, Andy is going to wake up at a certain point, which might change what you're doing. So it's just kind of an idea of what are you trying to get accomplished over the next couple of days, the next full week, just your general goals essentially.
Every day trying using the thing to try to make the different materials. First, I'm gonna try a healing potion. Even though Ravi told me multiple times it doesn't suit, it's just suspicious.
Okay.
And then, go to the alchemist fire and the acid. So build that up over time. One other thing is going to be just old nostalgic drink that I can think of, back from when I was home. Just to really push the limit and see what this thing can do. Other things I'm going to do, read the book that I got about the borosilicate family. Try to see what that says about it. Flirt with Vanessa a bit. Also, the extra silk that I got, I want to like kind of ask her if she can make some like simple like dresses and stuff. Basically, I'm trying to use this for like monetary value, as in like she doesn't have to put her name on it or whatever, but you know, to pedal on the road.
Okay.
Or, you know, if she just enjoys it, she could kind of have it as a gift. What was the other? Oh, also, I don't actually have Druidcraft as my cantrip. Can I still make the beard thing for him?
Unless you got another spell, maybe not. We'll have to figure it out. Maybe.
I'll have to look it up a bit.
Okay.
Let's look through Druid spells.
Yeah. What's up, Saishori?
Are we limited to just the estate?
No, of course not. You have the entire town to go through, or if there's anywhere else you want to go, like in the vicinity, yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay, or there's a library like outside of here. I'll go to that.
Are you looking for anything? Well, what are you are you looking for a particular subject or just?
Yeah, tiefling history, general tiefling information, and also the artifacts. I want to learn about like the first followers of like the gods from the artifacts.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. And then if you guys want to have some quick conversations about anything, go for it, or just
I'm gonna
in
take
game,
the
out of
chance
game.
to do the same real quick. So, be back.
Me too. Meet you guys there.
Bathroom
So-
break.
See ya.
7. Is your face made out of stone or what?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm the 7th level druid. Fuck it. Flavor, yes.
Yeah. There's stone, there's wood, there's metal, there's part of a tree that we had removed from me. It's all fine. Gotta go to the weapon shop. We haven't done that now. Do a whole shopping excursion, see if we can find more cool stuff. How's that sound? I am exhausted.
Yeah, I'll try to smash the Spider Queen. I have a spell called Dominate Beast.
Oh, damn. Oh, Seven's glad he's not a beast. Oh, Joe, you there?
Yes. What you want?
You never got the beef jerky bag to complain. Okay.
Package?
Yeah, I know what's in it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I have you. No. Also, I have this. They thought it was mine. Oh, your knife? Was left in the bathroom, and then it ended up in my room. Yeah.
So, Manny, you ever see the movie Edward Scissorhands?
Yes, I have.
Would you like 7 to become that?
I can have scissor fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? What are you gonna do to me? You
That's what I'm
seven.
doing too.
Yeah. I would actually just send that to Roach instead of me because I don't know how that's gonna work on a living creature. But yeah, 7 goes in for.
Well,
beard.
it's more so I'm adding soft clay to your like face. It kind of sounds like.
Okay. It's like, so I'm just gonna walk around with a Brad Pitt face made of clay and stone.
I could make you sexy Squidward.
No, that's true. You could also make me Scary Spice.
Mhm.
It's like a, because I can't feel. I can feel the shape, but I don't know what you're physically doing to my body. You're done. Here's a mirror, then I hit you, and then like, oh no. You give 7 elf ears. Next thing you know, you're just getting punched for 10 damage.
Are you?
Because if he makes me not have, if I don't have a moss beard, and I come out looking weird, 7 will not take that kindly. As for Mossbeard comes out with a whole new face, he's getting punched.
Beard.
Yeah. And I feel, as long as he's not in monkey form, this will hit.
Ba, 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 ba.
All right. Who's here wants to do their shit first?
Also, one other thing, Roach, is
Yes.
like every 2 days or so, I'm gonna be trying to message Chandrik again. So maybe like 2 or 3 times throughout.
Cool. Do you want to send me? Do you want to send me a list of liquids you want to try the alchemy jug to work on?
Yeah, I was gonna do that. Also, I was thinking of. Oh yeah, I messaged you what I was thinking of using on 7.
I saw. I mean, that's. Yeah, you could do that.
Hell yeah.
That sounds sus.
Uh,
You're here, Valir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna start with you because you have a fun one.
Have a fun one.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Oh my gosh. Am I gonna find like some swings I'm not supposed to?
Oh no.
how to mate with spiders.
You said investigation?
Yep.
All right. Boo! I find nothing.
You know, you get into your dad's office, and your father's a tidy man. As you approach his desk, there is, you know, there are 2 things on his desk right now, and for your father, that's very odd. Like the fact that he left paperwork out. And it kind of distracts you in your investigation of looking through his office and trying to find, you know, whether he had like secrets hidden or something like that. The first thing you see is the fully written out version of the contract he signed with you and your party. With explicit instructions of this should be the highest priority and taken care of on its completion on their return, whether or not I return is essentially the gist of he left like a cover letter on it, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing you see is another stack of papers bound and kind of in a envelope. And there's a simple title on the front of the envelope as the last will and testament of Adronis Orsanok.
Mm. I grabbed that one.
Okay.
And sure. I read, I guess, the first page to start with.
Okay. As you pull his last will out of his kind of the envelope that it's in, as you start to read through the first page, it is addressed to the 3 of you, your mother, and your sister. And it is a detailed letter of the goings on before Silicon Valley was enacted, the things that he has done, the things that he did, and the things that he must do. You get the sense that this is the letter that he's been working on. This is something he's been in closed doors meetings with for the last several months now. what he was preparing to leave behind when he inevitably had to return to the Spider Queen. It breaks down having a child outside of the Queen and your mother, that he abandoned in Morand some hundreds of years ago, that he has not had any contact, but that the child's existence would give you. It basically then also breaks down like, this is the argument you need to go to the day of Vertabong and essentially argue the fact that the illegitimate successor that's trying to claim the Warsanak estate, and it's this entire legal argument like about how you should go about the next couple of steps of what's going to happen once he leaves and once this new child appears to take over the business, and how you can block him out, and then how you can, use your resources to pass everything off. And again, he makes it so you and your mother are taken care of, but a lot of the business is passed off to your sister.
Okay.
But you can see that again, a lot of the wording and a lot of he probably spends less than a page talking about the actual distribution of his estate. The other 10 or so pages is just the legal arguments of how you're going to, keep the estate in the business in your names, and how you're going to fight off and argue against the Spider Queen's child from taking over, who to talk to. He leaves you there's like a laundry list of like who holds like certain your broker and banking information, who has the rights to certain documents and certain connections that you have. You see that there is that's just the general gist of you take a lot of time just kind of sitting here, just scanning over his will almost. And like I said, very little of it is a will. The rest is instructions of what to do.
Gotcha.
But that kind of distracts you from your initial searching of your father's office.
Okay. Kind of just like have my hand to my head, kind of like trying to internalize all this, because again, I'm not like too familiar with a lot of like the business jargon as he is, so it's kind of like, yo, what the heck is he talking about in some of these pages? But knowing the gist of it, of just like, that myself and my mom are gonna get taken care of financially, while Viesa has the business side of stuff, kind of like makes him feel better about this whole ordeal, and just hope that it works out that way. Mainly for her, because I feel like my mother has already gotten what she needed. Whatever happens, like, I know, her children would take care of her, but VS's feelings about the company is like a little bit more important for me. So kind of happy to see that should be all right.
Suji.
Mm-hmm.
As you take the next couple of days just experimenting with the alchemy jug. First day, very carefully, you're able to extract the acid from the jug. As you start to look into the jug and you concentrate on the idea of acid. And you're able to bottle that up for Revi as he's requested. On the second day, you think very hard and carefully about potions of healing, things that restore, things that things that you're familiar with. You've taken several potions in your last several months alone. And as you concentrate on that heavily and you start to pour from the alchemy jug, you see a very familiar, like kind of off blue neon liquid start to fill a vial.
And what does this remind me of exactly?
Of potions of healing. You're not sure what strength, but it has that same color, that bluish hue of any color of like healing potion that you've taken before.
Oh, I figured healing potions were always red.
Blue,
Gotcha.
red. It varies, but bluish.
Normal video game stuff.
Yeah,
Wait, so did it work? I'm sorry, I missed it.
It's a little off in color, but something came out.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh no. I'll be right back.
Okie doke. But you were able to pour out 4 bottles worth of this liquid.
Huh.
Good start. Good start.
Cool. Say Shori.
See,
Give me. So based on how you want to go about this, I would like you to either give me a investigation check or a persuasion check. The difference being, are you going to a library and just doing research on your own, or are you engaging people there to kind of point you in a direction?
I'm gonna engage people.
Okay, so give me a persuasion check. Pretty good. Through some conversations with either librarians or any of the normal passersby here at the library in Silicon Valley, you're hard pressed to find much documentation on tieflings. There is, at first, you're pointed to tomes talking about devils and demons and their association with how they affect mortals in a way that taints their blood, which is the resulting of a tiefling offspring. You get some small passages in some religious texts talking about the persecution and the what tieflings are and where they came from, a little bit here and there, talking about how somewhere in the history, or still to this day, devils or demons can make their way to the material world, and whether it's through direct contact, through making deals, or in very rare cases actual procreation with human mortals, being able to have offsprings that are demon blood. nothing on civilizations of tieflings, nothing on, they're in a lot of the research that you do in the next couple of days, it's very much the talk of tieflings are not one of the, recognized races of the world. They were not created by one of the gods. They are, they're a not a mistake, but they are the introduction of demonic or devil forces into the world, and therefore they are a minority. They're a scattering that isn't the norm. Is a lot of the rhetoric and the research you're able to do over the next couple of days.
I feel that kind of strengthens her resolve of like fuck the gods. Is there anything on like Febris?
Um, so you find there is a general, religion section on in some of the tomes that you're reading, um, or that you're able to research over the next couple of days. It gives you a general breakdown of the different gods and how their worship and their schools and the people that tend to worship them, and their the areas that they seem to be the most prominent in. um you do find you can find it easily, a pretty extensive section on Febris. um for whatever reason, whether it's by design or just because of the nature of his worship, a lot of religious texts that you're reading through have very large sections on Febris, as he's the god of knowledge, the god of scrolls. It just seems that whichever religious person wrote these texts tend to favor him in some way, shape, or form. They write a lot of, he's the god that, if he didn't exist, the other gods wouldn't have, a way of communicating and keeping their lineage throughout time. And any holy scripture, doesn't matter to what god it is, has to pay at least a little bit of favor to Febris, because he's the god of knowledge and the god of scrolls and the god of keeping of his, not history in a sense, but at least the keeping of knowledge.
And it's really, really biased.
Yes. um, to a point that I think with your passive insight, Saishori, you get the sense that possibly a lot of religious texts are written by followers of Febris. Doesn't matter for what god that the books are probably written about. Like, it seems that maybe a lot of the earlier text was translated by a follower of Febris, and therefore has at least a somewhat of a skewed writing to it.
Is there anything in particular about like uh the scroll? Like I know that like scrolls, but like the scroll. Like Suki's family heirloom thing.
So I would say it's interesting to you. When you start to read through a couple of different books and you start to see different passages of Febris, there's nothing that specifically calls out about a special scroll. But I think the thing that would stand out to you as you kind of read through them is worshippers of Febris are scholars. They are people who don't write things indeliberately. There are very different mentions of scrolls, lowercased, and the scroll, uppercased, in some of his writings.
Is there any particular distinction I can make when they're talking about the scroll?
It's hard to tell. It sounds like the way it's written, it seems like it should be interchangeable. Like just talking about like, and in this, in this holy scroll of, blah 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 deity. But it doesn't. It seems to happen too often to be an error. But that's about the most information you can get from it. That there are certain instances where it's talking about, and the scroll of. It's not always of Febris. It's the scroll of, you've seen the scroll of Soren Lin, the scroll of Febris once in a while, the scroll of Bellamy as being uppercased, as opposed to the scrolls of the library, as opposed to, like, in comparison.
Okay. Is there anything in the library about Echo?
I think after the first couple of days of doing your research, you are one of the librarians there that you've been talking to the last couple of days. Points you towards there's a tome of a historic tome that they kind of like, if you're looking for something specific about Echo, that might be your best bet. I can pull it from an archive for you if you want, but they asked you to come back in a couple of days just for them to pull it out of, it's in the deep archive of books that haven't been read for a very long time.
Okay.
So other than that, you're doing that. Revi,
Yes, sir.
first couple of days, what is your main focus?
Well, we could well, I'm gonna attempt multiple casts of identification. I mean, I think at least, I think it warrants at least a few attempts, unless there's, in case there's some sort of resistance or something like that. So.
Sure. And you're on the rod itself, or is that the
what?
What are you identifying? Sorry.
What rod? What are we talking about? The 2-inch.
Yeah, it's in rod
piece.
shape. Yeah, it's a.
Oh, I thought it was like a. Sorry, I thought it was like
cylindrical.
That's my fault for saying orb.
Yeah. It's a 2-inch. It's a 2-inch piece of cylindrical stone and metal.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it was a rod. I thought it was more like like a stone like pendant.
No. It's because it's broken on both ends. That looks like it's shipped from both sides. So it's a 2-inch piece rod essentially. It's hard to say rod at 2 inches. It's cylindrical though.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna attempt to identify again.
Cool. Give me a straight Arcana check on this.
Okay. Oh, first one, 21.
Cool. As you cast Identify, you get from the base of the spell, you get a lot of the information you already have on it back. You detect all the schools of magic. You detect, how many, like, this thing has charges. You're not sure what they're used for. It's not so much that this particular item is usable in its current state.
Okay.
To find out more about it would require a more intense level of magic.
Got it. Well, that's one way. All right. Well, so yeah, I'm gonna relay that to Vinteth. It's like, Vinteth, You know, I'm really thinking about it. I mean, we learn by doing, right? Fuck it. We got some time ahead of us. I am going to attempt to attune to the item. I still got a slot, so I don't have to unattune anything.
All right.
Oh boy, I did not like
Round
that
2
one.
of attuning to
I was,
random shit we
I was
find.
looking intently at it. Yeah, you think we learned our lesson after the dragon's blood gem, but nope. We must learn. Knowledge above all. I will learn your secrets. Magic rod. Cool.
Shit.
Oh boy. I mean, you know.
I mean, how long do we have that fucking dragon's blood
Well,
gem? For?
At this point, I got the mommy working choker. I got time assassins after me. Like, really? Am I gonna be scared of a magical artifact? Come on.
No.
Come on now.
Do me a favor and roll a d8 for me and re-roll if you rolled an 8.
Okay. Oh, there's my thing. All right. 6.
Beautiful.
Now roll on the D100 chart of 3 times of curses. My D100 curse chart.
You good. All right. So, you finish attuning to the rod in your hand. As you do, you feel a strange bit of magic wash over. Vinteth, as you have said you were in the room, you watch as you see Revi's form kind of shimmer in place for a second.
I don't know, but it was quite a bit of a weird feeling.
I'm
is
gonna
there
reach.
anything
I'm
else
gonna
happen,
poke
DM?
Ravi.
He's still there.
Okay, I'm good. I'm not ethereal. That's the thanks. Oh, good. Oh, I'm still tied to the material plane. Thank you for checking that, Vinteth. Well, that's a good start. Do I? Obviously, I understand most magical items and the nature of attunement. Do I understand any more information about this item? I'm sorry, first, do I feel anything else besides that magic wash over me, like the feeling of that? And then, yeah, that'd be my first question.
You can feel strong magic radiating from the item and therefore through yourself. You get the sense that you have the ability to, in this moment, you have the ability to manipulate something about your person to a certain degree daily.
Ancient penis enlarger, got it. I see. So it feels like what, like I have less like exacting control because the item is not because it's damaged.
To a sense, yeah. You feel like you can tap into something. You're just not sure what that something is.
Well, we're out. You said the room. We're outside, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to tap into whatever this is.
I'm gonna take a step back.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna take several steps back.
I'll warn Vinteth I'm gonna do this before. Well, I still can't tell exactly what this is going to do or what's going to happen, but we're going to find out. So,
Cool. Would you like to use 1 charge or 3 charges?
Go for broke.
We will start with the 1 first, and then we'll experiment more later.
Cool. In this moment, what are you thinking about?
I mean, I guess it would just be like physical objects. I'm trying to channel the magic of this. I'd be thinking about that, trying to all right, to focus it, I guess, in some way within myself.
So you're thinking hard about the material, like the idea of the object and its power, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. As you start to concentrate on that, Vinteth and Tinkers both watch. You watch as Revi's skin starts to turn to a combination of stone and metallic glistening. Its armor hardens and becomes rock-like as his form appears to change.
Mm.
You do.
What the fuck?
Can I still move, talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But that's interesting. Hey, Vinteth,
Yeah. Hit you?
you wanna hit me?
I was gonna do it without you prompting me. Anyway.
I'm sure I had a feeling you probably.
I was literally just gonna fucking.
He was
walk up.
already winding up.
Like, wait, what'd you say? Oh, all right.
Give me an attack roll.
I'm just gonna. I'm not hitting him with the hammer. Hammer's
Just roll a d20. Roll a d20 at your strength modifier.
strength.
Cool. I mean, you throw a punch. You hit him. Revi, it doesn't hurt that bad. It's kind of like a lightful, playing punch on your shoulder. I think Vinteth, you feel the most out of this. You were expecting like the feeling of punching a wall. But as you make contact, he's still fleshy.
Huh.
Huh.
So it doesn't feel like stone on me at all?
Nope.
It's just like-
Revi, I think after you start to inspect yourself, like it appears to be an illusion.
Oh, I see.
You're Twilight now, dude.
So over the next couple of days, if you experiment with this,
Yes.
cool.
That would be the goal.
Yep. The rod has 4 charges.
Mm-hmm.
You can spend 1 charge to cast Disguise Self on yourself, which is what you just did.
Got it.
Or you can spend 3 charges to cast Invisibility.
Okay.
Or 2 charges to cast Blur.
2 for blur. That's interesting. Quick question.
Yes.
If you're casting blur through it, wait, sorry, I got
You are still concentrating.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Just does
And
not
then,
use a spell slot.
how many charges regained per day?
Full recharge at dawn.
Oh, okay. Good to know. And it is, do I get the impression that if this were to be repaired, that it is capable of more? Or just totally unknown?
Give me another Arcana check.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 24.
You are unsure of what would happen if this thing was to be fully repaired. Though, from the information that you have, this piece emanates the characteristics of 7 schools of magic.
I see.
Those
And there
spells,
are 3 spells from 3 different schools of magic currently available.
those 3 spells are all illusion.
Oh no, those are all illusion. Huh. Interesting.
Robbie
Okay.
finally gets a new.
I'll have to think about this one. I'm assuming there's not like a little knob on it. You know, I just got to change it from illusion to like, conjuration. Oh, this is the conjuration setting. I got it now.
Bop it. Spin it.
Spin it. Yeah. Exactly.
Conjuration it. Yeah, no. But that is the information you currently have.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. That's that.
I'll thank you, Vintef, for this after the couple days of testing, so where we figured this out. Like, thank you. This could have gone, who knows? as we've seen, it's not always this this easy to figure out. So anything else you'd like to do with your buddy and the hammer that I might be able to assist with?
Try talk.
Well,
He has.
shit. Was that a religion check? I'm gonna if he's gonna do that at some point, I'll enhance his ability to
Because he's
to
been
give
dormant
me-
since up, right?
Oh, that's right.
I haven't really tried talking to him. I'm like, bro, sorry for blowing you up, bro.
You talked to him, he said, don't do that ever a fucking again. And
Take a nap.
but hey, you fed him hook horror in the meantime, so it's
Covered a bit.
Cool.
Fuck it, why not? Try to be him attuned like we're. Come on, buddy.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. So
Wait, you said persuasion? Oh, so then I definitely wouldn't have given him the right enhance ability.
No, that's a.
That's a now one.
Oh my god!
It was fine
that's a nat
until it
20
wasn't.
and a nat 1.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, it is.
Perfectly balanced.
As all things.
The dichotomy.
Yeah. Well, that's he's not.
Oh,
You do not get a response in this moment.
maybe he's just pissed off, Vintef.
Why? Fuck the thing that does created that explosion, but
What did he hit? He hit that against this object, right?
I didn't
He
even
tapped-
hit him. I tapped him together.
He
He
tapped the
it, yeah.
gem to the rod piece.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. That's that. 7.
Yes,
You got Mason's tools.
I do.
Nice.
What is there anything specific you're trying to fuck around with? Are you just trying to general get a feel for the tools that you have? Are you trying to
Yeah.
actually make something or?
Just trying to get a feel for it, and then once
Okay.
I was comfortable, just keep escalating.
Gotcha. So yeah, you get the tools in your first day, and you spend probably the next day or two just getting used to them, just breaking them in, just working with different materials. Not to a point like not to the point that you're making anything yet, but you got the hang of them. The idea of chipping away and forming something, and it's a little bit of hard for you because you're not just wantonly destroying something. It's the fact of you're carving something and, making use of things. So I think that's the hardest part for the first day or so. It's just not just breaking, stone down into rubble. It's no, I am doing this with a purpose. But you spend the first day or so just getting used to that.
All right. Like, I would like to try to make like a chimenea type thing, like nice little fire pit.
Yeah.
All right.
Just out in the courtyard of the Borsanok estate, you're out there with some, As you start to work on that, about 3 or 4 days go by as you all continue just getting into relaxing and pursuing your own things in this, in Silicon Valley. As you wake up the next morning, you all gather for breakfast. Groggy, worse for wear, but for the better part of looking better than he's looked in the last several weeks or last several days since you've seen him last. You are joined at breakfast by one Adronis Orsanok.
Hey,
He lived.
Andy.
Bags under his eyes, still looking gaunt, and again hasn't been eating, just been sleeping constantly for the last several days. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but we're back here, and that tells me that we've done at least something right. You see, he sees Viesa, and before you guys can even respond to him, it's over there, just big hug, like, we did something right. Well, I believe we have plenty to discuss.
And I kind of update him on like how long it's been.
Good to see you alive and well.
That the poison was removed.
I mean, I feel much better. I'm still a little. I've felt worse, but not by much. Yeah, so you see, and you sit and spend probably the first 20 or so minutes just filling Andy in on all the conversations with Corpia, and it's up to you. Do you give him all the information? If you're holding anything back, just let me know. But you can just say, we let him know everything if you'd like.
I don't think there's anything we need to hold back, right?
No, I don't think so.
Other than like the spiders, Moran, and why everything got leaked or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, we don't need to tell him. We don't need to tell him about the specific stuff we asked about. He can't really do anything about that anyway.
Whole thing's our fault.
Yeah, we brought the spiders that told them everything about this.
Oops.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you give him all the pertinent information over breakfast. All right. Well, again, I am so sorry. I tried so hard to. I was fighting for consciousness for probably about a day and a half. Honestly, the fact that I made it as far as I did was. I don't want to say impressive because honestly, you all are much more impressive than I am. But I was not in a good spot for a while there, and I tried to keep a strong face, but apparently it just caught up to me eventually.
It I commend you for pushing yourself the way you did that day. We knew you were in rough shape.
Sorry about your hand.
You know, it's actually the least hurting part of me right now, so that's okay. I'm okay with the hat. I mean, whatever. From the sounds of it, Vinteth and some of our staff were doing that actually feels perfectly fine, honestly. Yeah, I'm physically drained still a little bit from whatever process of removing what was inside of me was, but that's not gonna. I just need to rest on that. We have
Getting
things.
blown up probably didn't help. There's that Vinteth.
Builds character, I suppose. But we have other things to discuss. It's been several days. What would you like me to focus on next? What is our next plan? It sounds like you all have once again signed on for something that's far beyond most of you. He looks at Valia. It's like, I thank you again for doing what you are doing for us, for your sister, for your mother, and for me.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've been away. I know I've been, not having the best attitude, but family's family. And yeah, I'm just glad that, retrieving her, that part of it is just over with. Just glad to see you're here, alive. Glad VS is back. And more so, it was just not me. It was the party, my friends over here that also helped us. So you definitely need to thank them as well.
Of course. And this is, again, extended thanks to all of you. I will make sure I start working on everything that you asked for. Is there a priority of how you would like these taken care of?
The airship we set as like a group, right?
Yeah.
The airship has been negotiated for yes, us as a party as a legally distinct group.
The airship. Oh, and please, can you please write 7 deadly sins on the side somewhere for us?
Oh, we can certainly have the boat. You want the boat named after the party?
Yes.
Oh, that's more than easy to do once we.
Seven's deadly ship.
No more war crimes.
You guys sure that's not? I mean, I know it's our party name. This might bode as a threat to people.
No, don't put it on the side of the airship.
What?
Are you kidding me? People don't know who we are.
They're gonna find
Why?
out.
They will, Robbie.
Why would you want to put deadly sins on the side? Give the ship a different name.
I mean, I will counter the argument. If that is the name you are going by, you'd want it, whatever reputation you bring to the name, you'd want it known.
Yes, I suppose that's true.
It's up to you to decide what the name of the ship is when it lands there. If they see 7 deadly sins and think, "Oh my god, we should run in horror," that's up to you guys. That says completely on your actions. But if that's the party name that you're going with, then you'd want to build up a reputation of being, well, whatever it is you're trying to do. So
Yes,
it's not a bad idea to have it on the ship.
You're probably right. I'm worried about. I look over towards 7. We cannot be dropping things out of the airship.
Define things.
Just anything.
Even enemies.
Well, if we're attacked, I mean, of course.
Okay. Enemies can be thrown off the ship.
Yes.
No
But,
weapons.
Right.
I
So-
learned.
First order of business. First order of business. I will start working on getting your airship taken care of, and have it stationed here in the docks. I will see if there's one here that I can buy. If not, I'll have to request one from Nelphine to be sent here, which shouldn't take more than a day. If I have to get one requested directly from Nelphine here, it might take us 4 or 5 days or so if I can get the message out. If there's one here that I can essentially buy off of somebody, I can get it done in a day or two. It just matters how quickly how quickly do you want the airship versus do you want a ship directly in your specifications?
I kind of look to the group. I'd rather wait. I mean, personally, I think there's still a lot I'd like to get done while we're here. So
Yeah,
I didn't mind the wait.
I don't mind waiting if you guys want to add certain safety features, a little personality into it. Anything that you guys think would make us feel comfortable. Make sure that there's no stowaways, flashbacks to when we got freaking jumping in the ship. Anything of this sorts. I'm willing to wait out.
Let's add a mechanism that would allow it to dive down and bounce within the water.
That was such a good vessel.
Yes, but I'm willing to wait. I'm sure we could find things to do around here while we wait for the airship to be perfect for us.
Okay, we'll
Right.
wait.
So I will work with you to get the specifications of what you're looking for, and I will send message off to Nelphine to have something, if not built, probably not built. Built would take a little bit longer, but something closer to what you're looking for as far as a ship for your party sent here for what they have either in stock or quickly available. As far as the gold goes, I will have that put into trust here in Silicon Valley, and you may take of it what you wish. If you want to carry a certain amount on you, it's a lot.
Indeed,
So-
it is.
Obviously, you're more than welcome to take from it what you want, but you can leave the rest here and then access it either when you come back to town or by sending for it. If you write, so this will become the trade-off. I think currently, as far as I understand, your adventuring party does not have a wide-ranging recognition. Is that correct?
No, this will be our first time operating under the name. We've done limited work.
So, in the future, if your reputation starts to precede you, what you'll be able to do is, if you're going to a town and you need to make a major purchase, or most purchases, as long as it's not like a couple of gold, but if it's several hundreds, a couple thousand gold, if your name precedes you, you can say, we are the Seven Deadly Sins. We have banking out of Silicon Valley. Here is a note, essentially telling them to send for payment from here, and we can take it directly from your treasury. Until you have that notoriety, it's a little bit harder to, any Tom, Dick, and Harry could just be like, I am this party and we have money out of here. And most shopkeepers will look at you like, okay, yeah, but give me gold. But once you have some notoriety, you can kind of throw that around if you want to.
Understood.
Seven, your request is actually pretty easily. We can have that for you probably in the next day or so.
Oh, I would love that.
What did 7 want? A weapon or something?
No.
No.
7 wanted 5,000 gold and the 5 stones of Rugbark on his necklace.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They just yelled it to the doors like, "No, we got you. You're good." And all right, and I have spider boots. Yeah.
But yeah, we have the airship will take care of the monetary thing we will have set up. Again, you may take as much as you want with you, as much as you deem worthy to carry. Of course, I will recommend you not to carry too much with you at any given time. It's a good way to encourage ne'er-do-wells and ruffians to come after you, but carry a sizable amount of gold on you if you wish. Airship gold. We can handle Seven's things. He looks over at Suji. I feel like you and I need to have a conversation.
Boo.
Yeah, I suppose that's right.
And I believe, other monetary, he looks at Revi. As we discussed, we will set up that trust and amount to be sent to that individual.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Andy. I will be sure to let him know. That would be an act in the same way operating the trust out of Silicon Valley.
That is up to you. Do you want me? We can send it to him as a lump sum directly to him, or we can send him a portion.
I think that's probably more than he needs all at once. I think a portion. I'll put together that. I
Of course, and again, if you want to send it, we can have it in like a payment plan as far as we can send him X amount every few months, every few weeks, X amount a year. Even if he wants to do it like here's a lump sum for X amount of years.
I will talk to him.
Of course. I believe, other than information, that is everything I promised. I believe. Please remind me if I'm still a little hazy on some of the specifics. But I believe I've.
I don't know what everyone else asked for.
I have my one-on-one.
You've certainly got mine covered, Andy.
I believe, if I remember correctly, Saishori, you asked for a shopping trip.
Money, please. We going to town. We going to town. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and say, because Robbie's gonna talk shit about this in campaign 2, but you gotta go for the specifics. Gotta ask for the specific amounts.
7 did.
I didn't, and I'm glad I pushed the envelope. But
I think I just said all expense paid, shopping trip.
so what, we're going to be rating the Warsanok or the Silicon Valley shops before we go?
Essentially.
We used over 20 healing potions in 4 days.
Yeah, we did use a shit ton of healing potions.
Yeah. And then I believe Vinteth was all information. That's where that conversation came from.
Yeah, and the whole name drop ended up coinciding with our fucking everything in general, so it's just like, you're helping us. Regardless.
Yep.
DM, I know that, of course, I have the bag of holding. But outside of the bag of holding, the logistics of carrying lots and lots of gold, I think, I'm sure there might be some questions amongst the group. Huh? Did I tell everyone the amount in campaign?
No.
That I negotiated for? Oh, good. I'm glad I still get to drop that ball. Okay. All right. Cool. Good to know.
Yeah, and then for sake of carry capacity, which I don't track
Yeah.
unless you're carrying a ridiculous amount of shit on you.
Who would
It
do
is
that?
It is 1 pound for every 50 coins you have in your pocket.
Oh
Wait,
Lord.
what?
Oh Lord. That's so
Again.
much.
Uh.
That's so much.
Can I have my
Again.
5,000 in platinum?
Yeah, I think you have to convert some platinum. Oh boy.
Well, no, I
Can we get a currency of bucks?
They- But- yeah, where are we gonna spend?
Yeah,
Even in platinum,
gems?
where are we
You want
gonna spend
gems?
platinum? Yeah, it might have to be fucking. Oh my god.
Wait, I thought all our money was with Robbie.
Well, yes, but I guess that's okay. At the level of money we're talking, combined with all the other items, like I'm sure, like theoretically, we could carry this all with us, but it's a question of are we going to want to? We could discuss later. But
in
yeah.
platinum
We need
would
a
be
bank.
what? 10 pounds then?
What do you say?
Well, for me, it'd just be like 10 pounds.
Yeah, you do a
What I
bunch of
asked for
platinum,
you.
right?
Yeah. It's only 5,000 plus it's 500 plus the 100 or so I have on me, so another 12 pounds.
Could Andy
I'm not encumbered until I have over what 400 fucking pounds on me.
Yeah, you can't
500?
just have like money sticking out of your body.
The other thing is the practicality of, are you just walking around with a bunch of money bags on your pocket, like on your hip? It's
We're getting robbed.
I can
Yeah,
try.
yeah. So
Yep.
when we get back to the room, or like to our area, like I'll discuss with the group, like we could discuss like what we actually want to do.
Right.
tons of people
You're
walk around
right.
with a ton of money. Dumb or dangerous. No in between.
I am both.
Well, I mean, look, compared to the world around us, we have already been walking around with a bunch of fucking money on us.
Yeah.
They're all dumb and
I mean, just our gear in general, we're walking around with it valuable, like platinum
True.
armor.
Well, I have no armor.
We have a shovel.
Yeah, I do, and that
this guy's got a fucking quiver bucket and a frog hemoth mantle. Nobody's trying to rob him. A fucking giant hobo robot. Vagrant.
Yes, except I have $1,000 suit on.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The mantle kind of.
It's fine. It works. Everyone has told me so.
Imagine Seven emerging a foggy ass swamp. Just like, oh, nice suit. What the fuck is around his neck?
Spoils of war, my friend. Spoils of war.
No more war crimes.
Yeah, I am a war criminal.
Hashtag no more war crimes.
Yeah.
7 deadly sins.
Yeah, we're a legal entity now. we have to behave like it.
It's like
We got an airship crew, and they're only under our employ for a year. If we got some stories, they're gonna break off and be like, "You guys are not gonna believe our stories from the year of working
We're getting canceled.
with 7 deadly sins."
They had a slogan of no war crimes. There was a lot.
They needed to, it's like the fact that they actively needed to remind themselves was bad as is, but then they didn't even follow it.
look,
My God, they did so many goddamn war crimes.
Killed the young
all
one.
I did was eat 12 objects in like a minute. It was fine.
Objects, you
so-
mean people?
No, they don't count as people. They are constructs. So I did double damage. They are things.
They're half people.
The parts of them
See?
are. All right, so I ate 12 people. We're never going to have to bring that up again. They try to kill us.
True.
Yeah. I separated our rooms on purpose.
So, yeah, Andy Andy instructs you about how he can, again, get the amount. He can get the amount that you need either put into trust and then however much you want to take with you and you leave ready for you. Obviously, the shopping trip to get you prepared to leave is on him, based to Saishori. Suji, you have a conversation that he would like to have with you once you have some privacy. He is going to start working on the airship. He's already taking down your specifications of what you are looking for as far as size. Basically, I will send this out in chat. Basically, the types of things you can ask for in the airship. Basically, the difference between speed, defense, attack capabilities, how you want the ship essentially to be fitted for you. There are different types of ship models. I will send that in our group chat and you guys can decide how you want your airship to be structured.
Custom air. Look at us. We went from a shitty vessel to now we getting the custom airship.
Come up.
Oh man, we are on the come up right now.
His vessel.
And all it took was Valir's sister getting kidnapped. All right, who else has a sibling? So we, in case we need another one of these.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's true. Zaishori could have siblings too.
I don't know.
I guess most of us don't actually know the answer to that question.
Half the party is orphans. Happy?
Look what you did, Robbie.
Hey!
Ooh.
Don't get mad at me, because I haven't.
I have a loving family that's alive.
Where's your mom, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me about them grandparents.
They were there. They lived. They loved Soren Lin. You would have liked them, Vinteth. Yes.
The airship is our downfall, or we become arrogant.
Yeah, where we don't remember where we came from anymore.
I already don't. It's great.
Also, DM, was the alchemist fire successful at producing?
We did not get to that day.
We just did the 2 days.
Oh, this was
Okay.
the first 2 days. Andy wakes up for day 3. Got it.
So first off, I'm like, here's your acid for now. Can I get some guidance? I was trying to identify this potion.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take a look. And
You guys are in the courtyard. Like, why is there a fireplace outside?
I will. I'll identify the blue.
Oh, well, I want to try to do it first.
Oh.
So ask him for some guidance.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Arcana check with advantage, Suji.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with a van.
Yeah, you can help from Ravi.
I thought
Sorry, I
guidance.
missed-
I thought guidance was a default.
No, I'm sorry. If I understood what you were doing from the start, like you want some help trying to figure out this thing that like you've come up with, I would enhance your ability then. Like, yeah, sure, I'm happy to give you some help, and I'll give you the boosts.
I mean, that would just be the help action. You don't gotta use a spell slot.
Oh, okay.
I actually was helping. I was hoping it'd be bad, and then I'd be like, you try.
So yeah, Suji, you look at this. Revi, he pulls out this vial of liquid, and it looks very similar to a healing potion.
Mm-hmm.
Suji, as you start to like kind of look at it, you dip your finger in, you taste it a little bit. It looks, it tastes, and seems like healing potion, but does not have any of the magical effects to it.
Ah, it's a virgin cocktail. Oh boy.
Doesn't quite seem like it's actually magical. Would potions be like detectable by detect magic? Can someone like detect if there's any magic in this? I don't think there is.
I mean, yeah, I can do that. So I will do so, and there's not. Yeah. No, not a bit, CG.
Maybe a base for a healing potion, but not as useful as I was hoping for. But interesting. I'll still
you
like
know.
hold on to at least one of the vials.
Mm.
Kind of get
Well,
rid of the other one so I don't accidentally like.
Well, you
frequent
created a decent facsimile of one, even if it wasn't.
Yeah, so go ahead and put in your inventory one faux healing potion.
Yeah.
That's gonna come back to bite me in the ass at some point.
Oh yeah.
I already know it's gonna hit me somewhere.
We would never do something like that.
Just 2 years from now, Suji's gonna hand like some important like villain NPC a potion, and he's gonna take it, and I'll feel like, yeah, I'm good. I can fight. Stab, dead.
Dead.
But the potion, fuck you. Cool.
Oh yeah. Obviously, I'll also thank you for doing the acid, Suji. How many vials is the 8 ounces of acid? What does that turn into?
Just double check real quick.
I think I found it. Vials hold 4 ounces.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
So
two vials. Yep.
Cool. Thank you, CG.
Try the alchemist fire.
Cool. So breakfast concludes. Andy goes off to start pulling up paperwork, and based on your specifications, he'd spend probably about an hour or so talking to all of you about what you'd want from your airship, which again we'll handle offline. Is there anything specific you'd like to add now that Andy's in the mix, or do you just want to go about your normal everybody's task for the next week?
I'm going to transition to, asking him about, whatever hidden texts he has in the estate. I'm going to focus it for him around what he does know, which is like, if there's anything I can find on foreign Senegal, but, I'll take whatever information you have.
I'll eavesdrop.
I assume I'd be part of that conversation.
I mean, I would want you don't have to eavesdrop. I would want the help. If multiple people want to come and help me look through these texts, like, I don't know I'll be able to get through all of them, depending
I'll
on what
help
he's
look
got.
through the text, but I also want to keep out an eye out for information about the Spider Queen's base. Anything else about the Giants or when they got in there?
Suji's still working on alchemy jug stuff. Anything other than that now?
Like I said, I would have probably at least tried contacting Hondrick one time.
Yeah.
Kind of the same way.
And Valir, now that Valir, is there any conversations you would like to pull your father aside?
Yeah, I think just letting it all out on the table. Any secrets, anything he could think of, just out.
Okay. Valia, now that as Valir, he kind of brings you to his study to have a conversation now that you're back. I will ask, did you leave the documents where they were, or did you take them with you?
Um. No, I think I left them where they were. I didn't take them.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Word. Mage. If I roll terribly, I'm quitting. Oh, all right. All right.
God damn.
All right. Act right. All right.
You somehow you read the small divots in like dust that was on the tape. Like it hadn't been there for very long, but you realized like there was a slight dust pattern of where these documents were, and you were able to put them back exactly where you found them. The seal's intact. Andy walks in and goes, as he leads you inside before he brings anybody else in here. Oh, you see, he goes over to his desk, picks up the will first, and puts it into like the top drawer of his desk. Pulls out the contract. It's like, well, I mean, not a lot of questions here. This is everything that I've obviously promised all of you, and we will make sure everything in this contract is fulfilled. I believe I already gave a copy of this to Vinteth, so you should have a copy of this. I'm just going to keep this for my records. He goes over to like a file cabinet and puts it away. Well, I can't say I have much secrets left at this point, Athalia. I have the dealings with the Spider Queen and how the next several months were supposed to go is, for the most part, what I've been hiding and what I've been working on. Which it seems, I mean, I have most of it in order, but I suppose now that it's out in the open, I can be a little bit more transparent about what's going on. I don't know what I mean, I have texts. I know you were requesting information that isn't in the library for you and your friends. I can provide that for you all. There's not a lot here that isn't either boring business information or just things that I don't need the general public to know about. But obviously, again, for everything you've done, you are all welcome to any documentation that I have. Something specific you need.
I mean, the main question is just any information on Forenston Gall. That's the main thing. Myself and the party's concerned about because we're still under, contract with the Spider Queen.
Very well. You see, he thinks about it for a moment. It's not much. I kept as much documentation as I could without wanting to implicate myself or the situation. Down in the vault, I do have as much information as I have of the birth of the child and the letters from his mother. Um, it's free to you all. You may take it, and if it helps your investigation, I am happy to pass it along to you.
I greatly appreciate that for sure. Um, I don't know how much of a sensitive topic that is to you. I'm not sure if you had feelings, I guess, for your first wife, first baby mama. I don't know how you want to call it. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you being honest about it. And yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
I mean, no, I understand and I appreciate what you're saying, Valia. Look, like I said, of course I had feelings for her when I was with her, and I had every intention of staying in Morand, not coming back. I had nothing here. Here was a desolate wasteland. We were at constant war with creatures of the valley and the spiders and everything else, and the only thing that we were given is an opportunity to possibly to create our own civilization if we made a deal with the Spider Queen. And honestly, I had friends and I had family here, and I wanted to come back, but when I met her, I very much thought about just not returning. It wasn't until she told me that she was pregnant that I freaked out a little bit, and I also saw an opportunity to possibly avoid the contract that I was signing. But she knew where I was from, and she had sent letters until she was unable to, so. I'm not gonna say I wasn't a coward, because I was.
Mm. Man, I get it. You were younger, a lot younger back then. It's a lot to deal with on your own. I'm not sure what your parents were at that time. I don't really seem to remember you talking about them at all, actually. But you did what you did. We're here now. There's not much what we can do about it, but just move forward and have this whole thing situated, and hopefully with this thing with Gordon Seagal works out for the best for all of us. Since I don't know, man, it's just been a very tricky subject for some to talk about. So it's a bit concerning of why people are really hush hush about him. Deal with that when it comes.
If I have faith that anyone can figure it out, it's you and your friends. After seeing the way you all handle yourself under pressure and in times of conflict, I'm certain with the appropriate backing you will take care of what needs to be taken care of. And as I said, what happens to me is no longer important. if you and your sister and your mother are taken care of, I can go to whatever comes next with my head held high and accept what is next for me.
I'm glad that you could accept that you knew what you signed up for from the start, for sure. I know you have everything written out to protect us and all family, which I really appreciate. But I just really appreciate more that you're a man of your word. You know what you signed up for. You know what's gonna happen, and you're not backing away from that, for sure. Um, uh, do you? Okay, so I do have a question. What exactly is the end goal of the Spider Queen? Why does she want her son to overtake everything?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say what someone like that's end goal was. The original deal and conversations I had with her were simple. Um, this valley was a desolate wasteland, constant conflict between spiders and other, denizens of the valley. I mean, I'm sure you've seen, the manticores, the other underdarkian, the things that we encountered when we were down below, the Duergar. This area, it was constantly being fought over by many beings. And when myself and our ancestors moved here, trying to find a fresh start for our people, we just became another piece of the war that was happening. And many of the creatures here did not possess intelligence to a point of having conversation or reaching deals with. But as you've come to have her be known, Corpia and her spiders were of an intelligence. And they were open to the idea of an alliance that would see our people and her people prosper. And I think to some degree she understood that at the time our people were very weak and outnumbered. But I like to think that she saw the potential in us. The fact that if our civilization was given the chance to prosper, we would outgrow them and outneed their assistance. So positioning herself to have her offspring essentially become one of the higher ups in the civilization would make it so the balance of power did not shift too drastically.
Understood. That makes sense. I was just afraid, there's I mean, the stories I told you of our adventures, there's like so much going on. I was afraid that she, I don't know, was planning something more major, but I'm glad to hear it's a lot more tame than I thought. So that's great to know.
Honestly, I also can say I don't think she believed I would live this long.
Yes, it seems that she's pretty closed off to the surface world, I guess you could say. I'm not sure if she's familiar with the different types of races they are out here and all. I know she's pretty old herself. I don't know if you know her origin or anything of the sort, but yeah, it seems like she lives in her own world essentially.
I mean, to some degree, don't we all?
You do have a point there. Um, I'm thankful for the information. Well, thankful for that you're letting us go through your vault, figure out more about forensic law and all. Just glad that we are talking a bit more. I know. I wish. I'm pretty sure we both wish it was under better circumstances, but better late than never. Um, if I don't know what the Spider Queen has plans for you, but if you're still alive and well, if allowed to, I will definitely do my best to see you from time to time.
Oh, I appreciate it, son. Your guess is as good as mine when I return to her what that means. I do hope she keeps me alive. And if she does, I would love to see you and your friends and your sister. I doubt your mother would make the trip. But as I said, I've been making my peace with this for a very long time now, and I'm prepared for what comes next, whether that's oblivion, whether that's living a life underground at the service of the Queen. And while it was not my plan, as long as you and your sister and your mother are happy and taken care of, I think I've done my job. I think what I've done has been worth it.
It is. I mean, you said what you wanted to do, you accomplished it, and here we are. I think that's more than anybody could ask for in their lifetime to accomplish what all their goals and everything. I mean, you had a purpose, you know what you wanted to do. I'm still struggling to find that. You know, I, after I got kicked out of the monastery, I just didn't know where to go. I was just walking around aimlessly, just trying to see where I ended up. And I mean, I ended up here with this group, and I just been trying to help them out any way I can. But yeah, I just don't know where my life is going. You know,
And honestly, that's okay. Look, we Ellerslie live for a very long time. And I can assure you this. Over that time, you were going to find meaning, lose it, find it, lose it again, find something else you wish to do. By the gods, look at me. I was just about your age when I made that deal and I founded this town. You have so much more time, so much more potential. You are a gifted and talented individual. And something you just need to understand. Villia, you are athletic, you are fast, you are capable of doing so much. This life that you are on, it's not a sprint. You truly have a marathon. You are just getting started.
I appreciate the words, the encouraging words. You are right. There is plenty of time. We are elves. We do live kind of forever. But you know, I'll try to do you and this family proud. Trying to figure out what my goal is, I guess. But as for now, I'm just gonna be here trying to help out my friends. While you were still in your sleeping or resting, I got more into the, I guess, manufacturing side of things. I was seeing how Viesa works and talking to her about her way of thinking of things was very interesting. And yeah, it's I'll find my way there, and hopefully, granted, if you're still alive, you'll hear of it when that day comes.
I look forward to it. Well, here. You see he reaches into a desk, he pulls out a key, he hands it to you. That's key to the vault downstairs. If you and your friends want to peruse the wares and the documents down there, he gives you on a slip of paper. That vault will tell you. That vault contains the letters and information I received from Morand before things went dark. I will start working on the specifications and get the information over to Nelphine to procure an airship of your liking and have it sent here in the next couple of days or so.
Excellent, much appreciated. Much appreciated, Father, for everything.
It's the least I can do.
Well, on that note, I'm pretty sure myself and everybody's kind of curious to see what information we find in this forensic goal. I'm sure you and Mother and Viesa have a lot to talk about, so I'll leave you guys to it for sure.
Yes, yeah, I owe a lot of people a lot of conversations.
Kind of just give him an honest smile, like a little pat in the back, like, it's gonna be fine, kind of thing. Yeah, and then with that, I start heading back to the group.
I'll see you at dinner. As you take the key to the vault and go back to join the party, and you all continue your several days of downtime, and your father goes off to have conversations with his wife and start to procure the airship of your design, as we will end tonight's session. We have a couple days of downtime left, a couple more threads to unfold. I will post the options for the airship into our group chat so you guys can start thinking about what the fuck you want. You guys get to design your own goddamn airship.
I want a 7 launcher.
Launch me in the battlefield. It's fine. I'll rage before I land.
But yeah, start hitting me up for one-on-ones so we can start discussing the last couple of years of the last year of campaign, where you guys are, where you guys are going, specifically Rose and Chris. I know we have harder conversations we need to have about your characters and where we're going with them. So let's set those up possibly before next week. If not, we're okay with where we are because it's gonna be a lot of downtime for probably at least the next session or two. But we're gonna want to have those conversations sooner rather than later.
Sounds good.
But other than that, thanks for coming along for the next part of your journey. You guys have officially finished a contract.
Yeah.
Check it
Oh
out.
man.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And
I
Yeah.
paid motherfuckers.
All that money.
Well, didn't we like? Well, this isn't our first contract.
No, but we
No.
finished this.
Oh,
It's been a while.
yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a long fucking minute.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's where we're at. You guys are finishing off some downtime, and we're gonna do some shopping. And so get your wish list together for next week as well, because you guys got a shopping trip to do. Because you got some money to blow. You got some things you can get. Think about any other questions or things you want to research, things you want to do in the next couple of days. So basically, that was the first 3 days. So you still have a full 7 days of this week left. Before you guys start to head off to your next adventure. Yeah, that's what we got. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you had any questions, we can save that for after the stream goes away. Joe?
Hitting the button. Bye bye, stream.
Bye,
Bye,
stream.
Yeah.
Bye.